ID number is 813069110100. This is a violation of City of Deltona Ordinance Section 18.3, adopting the latest edition of the Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, which states that any owner, authorized agent who intends to construct, enlarge, alter, repair, move, demolish, or change the occupancy of a building or structure, or to erect, install, enlarge, alter, repair, remove, convert, or replace any electrical, gas, mechanical, or plumbing system, the installation of which is regulated by this code, or to cause any such work to be done, shall first make an application to the building official and obtain the required permit. Corrective action for said violation is to obtain the permit for the roof structure over the front doorway. Applications must be submitted to the City of Deltona, 2345 Providence Boulevard, Deltona, Florida 32725. The structure must meet all requirements of city ordinance and be approved on final inspection. Contact our office with the permit number when obtained. The statutory requirements for notification of this hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and the notice of code violation being sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with the property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted on the property and at City Hall at least 10 days prior to this hearing. All of the evidence in this case, including the photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the special magistrate clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. This is a proactive case that was opened on April 29th, 2024, after a construction project in progress was observed at this property with no permit on file. A notice of violation was posted June 16, 24. Excuse us.
I sent you to continue this case.
Okay, Your Honor, if I may, I was just informed that the city would like to continue this case until next month.
Okay. Well, I will continue it.
All right, thank you.
All right. This is case fire 005-2025, 2820 Howland Boulevard.
Okay. For the record, my name is Lisa Nadeau. I am employed by the City of Deltona as a fire safety inspector. This will be case number fire-005-2025, the City of Deltona versus Conde Biancardi. The property address is 2820 Howland Boulevard, Deltona, Florida 32725. Parcel ID is 8130-39-09-0090. Excuse me, sorry. This is a violation of City of Deltona Ordinance Chapter 42, Article 4, Fire Codes Chapter 42-186, which adopts the most recent code of the Fire Prevention Code as adopted by the State Fire Marshal. Violations A to E will be listed below in no particular order. Violation A, NFPA 1, Chapters 11.1.2.2, unless determined to present an imminent danger, existing electrical wiring, fixtures, appliances, and equipment shall be permitted to be maintained in accordance with the addition of NFPA 70 in effect at the time of the installation. Corrective action for violation A would be to replace the conduit that is not properly covering the exposed wiring for the exterior AC breaker box for unit number 1. Violation B is NFPA 1, Chapter 11.1.2.2, unless determined to present an imminent danger, existing electrical wiring, fixtures, appliances, and equipment shall be permitted to be maintained in accordance with the addition of NFPA 70 in effect at the time of the installation. Corrective action for violation B would be to replace the missing covers on the exterior AC unit breaker boxes for suites 2 through 7. Violation C NFPA 1, Chapter 11.1.2.2, unless determined to present an imminent danger, existing electrical wiring, fixtures, appliances, and equipment shall be permitted to be maintained in accordance with the addition of NFPA 70 in effect at the time of the installation. Corrective action for violation C would be to provide an approved cover for the exposed electrical wiring protruding from the conduit beneath the front sign. Violation D, NFPA 1, Chapter 11.1.3.2, multi-plug adapters shall not be used as a substitute for permanent wiring or receptacles. Corrective action for violation D would be to remove the multi-plug adapters that are being used on the exterior of the building between suites 5 and 6. Violation E, NFPA 1, Chapter 10.13.2.1, cut or uncut weeds, grass, vines, and other vegetation shall be removed when determined by the AHJ to be a fire hazard. Corrective action for violation E would be to trim, cut back the tree limbs that are encroaching and growing over the building. The statutory requirements for notification of this hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and notice of code violations were sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with the property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted on the property at City Hall at least 10 days prior to this hearing. All of the evidence in this case, including the photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the special magistrate clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. On July 26, 2024, I conducted a fire safety inspection at this location. During the inspection, I observed the noted above-mentioned violations. I notified the property owner of the violations and given time for compliance. I conducted follow-up inspections on October 3rd, 2024, November 8th, 2024, December 26th, 2024, and January 3rd of 2025, and found out the property was still not in compliance. A site inspection today showed that none of the above violations have been corrected. The city would like to request 30 days for the property to come into compliance with the remainder of the violations, or a fine of $50 per violation per day until such time that the property owner has notified the city of compliance.
Okay, so on the first three, you've cited NFPA 1, 11.1.2.2.
Yes, ma'am.
That is talking about maintaining wiring, et cetera, in accordance with the addition of the NFPA 70 in effect at the time of installation. So do you know when these things were installed and what the NFPA requirement was at the time it was installed?
Normally, the conduit that goes to cover the wiring that's in there is up to the box. It's like hanging down, the conduit is. So the wires inside, the wire coming down through the conduit is exposed at the sign and at the breaker for the AC for suite 1. See how the conduit, it's been like unscrewed from the bottom? Mm-hmm. So the wire is exposed now. So that just needs to be corrected, repaired.
Okay, but that didn't answer my question, which is, what was the NFPA requirement at the time this was installed?
You can't answer that.
Okay. Would you like to continue the case for you to determine that? I mean, I would imagine that that's most likely not allowed, but I have to determine that it's not maintained in accordance with the addition of NFPA 70 in effect of the time of installation. I mean, that's what you've cited. So that would be continuing A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. All right, and then, so D, violation D. Mm-hmm. Multi-plug adapters shall not be used as a substitute for permanent wiring or receptacles. Can you explain that to me?
Yes, they have like extensions on the bottom part, so it's like an adapter where they can plug electrical outlets into it, and the light bulb has been screwed on top of the adapter that's there, and that's being used as permanent wiring. So they can plug in Christmas lights, security cameras, all that from the outside, instead of going through a proper electrical outlet.
Okay, and so it would,
Normally, the light bulbs are screwed right into
Sure.
the appliance, yeah.
yeah. Okay, understood on that one. And then the violation E, can you go to the vegetation that needs to be trimmed?
So it's all the tree limbs that are hanging on or above the building and that are encroaching the building, which
Okay.
prevents a fire hazard.
Okay, okay, so D and E, understood on those. All right, so then, anything else before I make my ruling? Okay, so I'm going to continue violations A, B, and C, and I find respondent in this case in violation of the city code as charged with respect to violations D and E, and that respondent correct the violation before 4:00 p.m. on March 28th, 2025, which is 30 days. And in the event respondent does not comply by the state, a fine in the amount of $50 per day per violation will be imposed for each day the violation continues past the aforestated date, for a total of $100. The respondent is further ordered to contact the code compliance officer to verify compliance with this order. I'm admitting the case file and the PowerPoint as exhibits, and I find the notices properly given in this case. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then this is fire 006-2025, 2310 North Normandy Boulevard.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Sharon Shivers. I'm employed by the City of Deltona as the Fire Marshal. This will be case number fire 006-2025. The City of Deltona versus Normandy Holdings, LLC. The property address is 2310 North Normandy Boulevard, Deltona 32725. Parcel ID 813-06-000030. This is a violation of the City of Deltona Ordinance, Chapter 42, Article 4, Fire Codes, Chapter 42-186, which adopts the most recent edition of the Florida Fire Prevention Code as adopted by the State Fire Marshal, which contains the Florida-specific version of NFPA 1 Fire Code, Section Chapter 13.1.1, requiring that the AHJ shall authorize to require that construction documents for all fire protection systems be submitted or reviewed and approved, and a permit be issued prior to the installation, rehabilitation, or modification. Further, the AHJ shall have the authority to require that full acceptance test of the system be performed in the AHJ's presence prior to final system certification. Corrective action for said violation is to obtain a permit for the installation of the fire alarm cellular communicator and pass all final inspections. The statutory requirements for notification of this hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and notice of code violations were sent by certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with the property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted on the property and at City Hall at least 10 days prior to the hearing. All of the evidence in this case, including the photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the special magistrate clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. On July 12th, 2022, Dyna Fire submitted application for fire permit Fire 22-0032 to install an AES IntelliNet wireless communicator for monitoring of the existing fire alarm control panel. Lee Grosvenor, our fire safety manager, reviewed and approved the permit on August 23rd, 2022. The permit was issued and picked up by Dyna Fire on March 2nd of 2023. Fire Safety Manager Lee Grosvenor conducted a fire alarm communicator inspection and a fire alarm final on April 20th, 2023, at which time it failed inspection. On September 2nd, 2023, the permit issued for this installation, again permit Fire 22-0032, expired due to inactivity. Numerous attempts by Lee Grosvenor were made to the contractor without success. On December 9th, 2024, a courtesy email was sent to the Regional Vice President for Normandy Holdings LLC, informing them of the expired permit, and followed up with a consultation report the same day. Subsequent inspections on February 9th, 2025, and February 26th, 2025, found the fire alarm communicator still installed. As of today's date, the cellular communicator is still installed with no valid permit on file for said installation. The city would like to request 90 days for the property to come into compliance with the violation, or a fine of $50 per day until such time the property owner has notified the city of compliance.
Thank you. Did you say 90?
90.
90, okay. You said that there was a permit issued, but they failed inspection, and now the permit has expired?
Correct.
Okay.
They failed to comply with the reinspection requirements.
Okay. Yes. All right. And really, the violation, you have NFPA 1, Chapter 13.1.1. It really is the last sentence, right, that the AHJ shall have the authority to require full acceptance tests of the systems, and they haven't been accepted.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else before I make the ruling?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I find respondent in this case in violation of the city code as charged, and that respondent correct the violation before 4:00 p.m. on May 27th, 2025, which is 90 days. In the event respondent does not comply by this date, a fine in the amount of $50 per day will be imposed for each day the violation continues past the aforestated date. Respondent is further ordered to contact the code compliance officer to verify compliance with this order. I'm admitting the case file and the PowerPoint as exhibits, and I find the notices properly given in this case.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Okay. Anything else before we adjourn? Nope. Renee, would you be able to get the 7-day order as soon as possible? Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, we'll go ahead and adjourn.